Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to our weekly Power Hour. It's good to see some familiar faces and some new ones as well. If we haven't had a pleasure of meeting yet through Zoom, my name is Heather, and we are live here every single Thursday. Lots and lots of past trainings. I've been doing this since summer of 2023. So if you don't know, if you're not in my free group, let me know. I can post the link, but the replays get posted usually on Fridays. And so we have, like I said, over a year's worth of trainings in our guide section. But I would love to know where you are located. So I know Ed's in Oklahoma and Eric is in Michigan. But Victoria and Suzanne, I would love to know where you're located. And yes, I can post that link. New York, awesome. All right, so here's a link to the free group. My virtual team will accept you. Be sure to put in your email. We do send out the replay that way as well. Like I said, it usually happens the next day. But if once you're approved and you go into the group at the top, there's the guide section and you can click that. And like I said, the links and the names of the weekly power hours are all there. But today is specifically on scripts. So if you've been with me for a while, you've probably heard before that I do not like scripts when it comes to distressed homeowners. And so we're going to go over why and just some ways to go about a conversation with a distressed homeowner. And then we're also going to talk about some QR codes. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can get those and make sure you stay till the end so you know all of that. And no, you do not have to join my coaching community to get this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I love to answer questions. Maybe it was about last week or a previous session or just a general question. Feel free to post it and I will pause or I'll wait till the end to answer any questions that you may have. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the official name of this week's Power Hour is Why Scripts Fail Distressed Homeowners and What Actually Works. Oop, add an extra L in there. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if you have any comments or maybe you're already working with distressed homeowners and some things have worked with you, that's great. Let's share. Look, we're all here to help these homeowners, right? All right, so what are we going to discover today? So we're going to go through all of this stuff, but the fatal flaw in distressed homeowner scripts. I know a lot of people want scripts and they want role plays. And it's like, you know what? In my 17 plus years of handling these crazy deals, not one situation has ever been the same. So it's really important to surround yourself with other people who are handling these types of deals as well and understand and can help you navigate through that situation with the homeowner. Okay, so I don't love scripts, but I do have a really cool questionnaire that we're going to go over. The authenticity advantage in high stakes situations, my proven no script approach, how to build genuine trust in minutes, seriously, and then the art of tailoring your approach to a unique situation. So like I said, these situations are very unique. There's a lot of moving parts. I've had sellers, COVID related issues, job loss, cancer, other illnesses, lots and lots of bad stuff, which is so sad. I had a seller on the run for murder once. Hopefully you never had that scenario. All right, bear with me. Allergies are super bad this week. Okay, so let's go through all these. And I'm going to kind of take you through how I handle these calls. And I really think that it's going to help you. So number one, I'm curious, have any of you handled like distress sales before, like full blown short sales? And I'm not talking one, let's talk like, lots of different scenarios. If you have, I would love to know. But in this particular situation, yes, Eric, I had a feeling that you had, which is great. In this particular situation, we really want to, as real estate agents, take our traditional thinking cap off and put on our distressed thinking cap. And that is so important because distressed real estate and traditional real estate, they are completely different. So different, okay? And so in a distressed case, these homeowners are going through a lot. Their brains are not right. You as a specialist should help them navigate through these situations. And we're going to talk about listening. We're going to talk about all this stuff that you can say to them, the options that they can go through. But yes, put yourself in their shoes. Okay. They're going through so much. They've probably researched online, got bad information from an attorney. Look, it happens. I know that because I see it every single day. They even get bad information from real estate agents. And so we definitely don't want that, okay? So number one, if you're taking notes, take your traditional thinking cap off and put yourself in their shoes, okay? We got to help them navigate through this situation so they don't get kicked out of their house, so they don't lose any equity, so that they can move on with a fresh start, okay? All right, so be a good listener. Okay. I love quotes. So I'm going to, I like to listen. I have learned a great deal from listening carefully. Most people never listen, and that is so true. It's crazy, okay? If and when you take on these distressed sales and your phone starts to ring, let them just vomit everything out of their mouth to you, okay? They need someone to listen. So just listen with an open mind, no judgment, none of that. You would think that this would be simple, but I don't think it's simple because I've heard conversations before, and being a good listener, it does two things. One, it helps build that trust because they're literally just telling you everything. It does help build that rapport. And number two, the more you listen, the more you take notes, the better you're going to be able to help these homeowners in the end, okay? So if you're just tuning in, we're going through just some different options of, ditch the script, so to speak, okay? And what I'm doing as far as not using a script. I've never, ever used a script when a homeowner calls. Even you may have not taken on that many short sales or distress situations, but you could probably, just from all of the trainings that we do every Thursday, probably know more than the homeowner, okay? So the first thing was to take your traditional thinking cap off. I'm sure all of you have done traditional real estate. It is very, very different. And put on your distressed thinking cap. That means put yourself in their situation, okay? This is about them, all about them, their families, helping them move on, not about you, okay? And then be a good listener. So, so, so important. So my latest deal came off of one of my postcards. And so she got a postcard and she got a text. Okay. And so she called me and I literally listened to her for like an hour straight. Now, some people are like, isn't that a waste of time? No, it's not. It's helping me build rapport with this lady. And I really do care about her situation. The more I listen, the more I took notes, and I can come up with a game plan for her to get out of this situation. Okay. All right. Number 3, you got to ask a lot of questions. And so, yes, I don't like a script. So what questions are you talking about, Heather? And so we're going to go over that in a little bit in my brand new homeowner financial hardship questionnaire, but asking questions. So as they start telling you their story and why they fell behind, listen, but also, try not to interrupt them, but let them know, hey, I'm taking notes and I may start asking you questions because it's going to help me learn. It's going to help me better understand your situation because I want to help you go through this. Okay. So really, a couple of scenarios is like, why? Why did this happen? And they will just start pouring everything out to you. I mean, this current lady just literally told me her whole life story. Just listen. Really determine what happened and get them into this current financial state. That is a really, really big one. It is on my new questionnaire because, what if there really isn't a hardship, which doesn't happen that often, but there has to be some sort of hardship in place. And you also want to determine what type of sale is this. So all of these questions are important to ask. And as you go through more and more short sales, you'll understand that. And that is why I replaced this questionnaire. I replaced the scripts with the questionnaire. Okay. It's more of a conversation, getting to know them, having them get to know you, and building that rapport. But this is a really, really, really important question to determine. Okay. And along with some other stuff that we'll go over, but what exactly happened? So like for the current situation that I'm in, the lady that had called off of my postcard, she was helping a family member that was dying and it was out of state. And so she just got so far behind, not only on her mortgage statement, her monthly mortgage payment, but also her HOA. So like I said, I've seen a lot over the years. So I've tweaked my questionnaire, my intake sheet so many times over the years. And so like I said, I do have a new one. Questions so far on those first three? Okay. So after, and I probably should have started with the questionnaire so you guys could get an idea of kind of how I run my conversation with them. But I left that for the end because it's so awesome, the new one. So I left for that, and I left the QR codes at the end too. But as you go through this conversation, eventually you're going to get to, okay, do you want to keep the home? Do you want to sell the home? Let me start off by saying every single homeowner will tell you they want to keep the home. I think in this day and age right now, it's probably rare that they want to get rid of it. Now, that lady that did call me, she did want to get rid of the home, but she had this huge HOA issue where the HOA had already gotten an eviction notice for her. So we had to work through that. Super crazy. But eventually you're going to get to this. Now, I spoke to a real estate agent a while ago that said she doesn't even suggest a loan mod. She doesn't believe in them. The idea here is to build that rapport. It may be a no right now to sell, but it's probably not going to be a no forever. Okay. That is where systems come in place. That is where communication comes in place. That's where follow-up comes in place. I've closed so many deals this year where I've kept in touch with these people for a year. The one I'm working on right now is 4 years. But I knew eventually these people were not going to be able to get a loan mod, bring it current. And so I just kept in touch with them. It's simple. You can follow up with a text, a handwritten note, an email, a phone call, depending, and keep track of all of those conversations. But when it does come to these options, well, what options do they have? So let's quickly go over those. If you're taking notes, I'm going to give you 5 different options. Option number 1, now I still go through this with them, but it's likely not an option. So that's going to be reinstatement or refinance. So refinance, if they are behind already at their mortgage rates, which they probably are because we do market heavily to homeowners that are in an auction, they're at the very end of the foreclosure process, it's going to be a no. But people get confused, reinstatement, refinance, loan mod, all of that, okay? So explain to them why a refinance is not an option. A lender is going to look at your credit. They're going to look at the mortgage rates. They're going to see that the mortgage rates are whoa. and there's not going to be an option for refinance, okay? It's good for them to understand this and hear that from you, okay? Excuse me. The reinstatement, it's a possibility. I've seen it more now than I have pre-COVID, okay? So the reinstatement is basically reinstating the loan. So let's say they are behind a year. So they're going to have to bring all of that current, and that would include any fees. That would include the foreclosure fees. I call them hook fees, all of it. And so, people just think, oh yeah, I can bring the monthly mortgage current. Not that, it's everything. And so I have seen a couple people be able to do that. But I do think it's a rare situation because that's a lot of money. Now, if they're not that far behind and maybe you're sending out a pre-foreclosure series letter, then yeah, it could be a possibility. Okay. If you have questions on these options, or if you would like for me to elaborate further, please just comment. Okay. Option number 2 is going to be a loan modification. So when someone is in this situation and they are dead set on keeping the house, even though you know that that's probably not a possibility, if they have time, let them go through the loan mod, okay? Remember at the beginning, I said this is not about you, it's about them. So they need that, kind of, I don't even know how to really say it, but they need to go through that, know that it was denied, and know that they have no other options. It will be 1,000 times easier for you to come in and help them sell the property, whether it's equity or short, if they've gone through that. Now you can hold their hand. Me personally, I don't help with loan modifications. It's a very gray area. I don't suggest that they pay them. They got to be very, very careful on those companies that are stealing money. So educate them on that. They can do the loan modification on their own, okay? But I'm seeing a lot of loan modifications getting approved, but approved for a lot higher of a payment than what it originally was. So that may just not be an option for them. But you can guide them through the loan mod. So I'll say, hey, you can call your bank. Here's a number, and you can ask for the loan modification packet. But they have to be very diligent on getting this done. And that's where your follow-up comes in. You call them or you send them a text or an email. Hey, Larry, hey, Susan, how is the loan modification going? Can I answer any questions? Do you have any comments from the bank yet? Maybe they denied it. If they denied it, then you can move forward with selling. So again, you're going to get a lot of calls. I get a lot of calls from our letters and our postcards, but not everyone's ready right away. Okay. Option number 3 is a bankruptcy. Now that is not going to be an option for everyone, but if someone does have an auction, filing a bankruptcy, if they qualify, could temporarily stop that date. It does temporarily stop that date, but that is the key word, temporary. It is a very, lots of moving parts, complicated at that stage, okay? But there's 2 different types of bankruptcy. There's a 7 and a 13. So a lot of people who want to keep their property, they file a 13. But look, that's why I said it's a no now, but it's probably not going to be a no, because a Chapter 13 is a debt consolidation plan. They make a monthly payment. They weren't making their monthly mortgage payments, right? So are they going to make the Chapter 13 payments? Maybe, maybe not. So stay in touch with them, because if they stop making those payments, the trustee for the Chapter 13 is going to move towards dismissal. And you want to stay in touch and follow up and get in touch with them before that dismissal happens. Because once it does, the bank, or they could file a motion to lift it, they're going to go back to where they were at. The bank is going to go exactly back where they were at in the foreclosure process. Okay. So it's very important to understand that. 7 is completely wiping everything away. So bankruptcy is an option. And then we have number 4, which is a deed in lieu. Now, I don't love a deed in lieu. I don't necessarily talk to them about a deed in lieu unless they ask me about it. A deed in lieu, from my experience and what my attorneys and stuff say, it does report like a foreclosure. And a deed in lieu is only going to work if there's like one lien, so one mortgage. If there's other liens, those lien holders are going to have to agree to the deed in lieu. But a deed in lieu is not going to give them meaning the second, the third, or any other liens, money to, release their lien. So why would they do it? They're not going to. Now, in a short sale situation, yes, the second mortgage gets something. If it's a mortgage, the first will say, hey, the second's going to get this. Okay. So in a foreclosure, if it goes to full-blown foreclosure, the other liens get wiped away, first mortgage takes over. So in a short sale situation, it is beneficial to a second mortgage to accept what the first is allowing, because otherwise they're going to get nothing. So they want something rather than nothing. So that's option number 4. So if someone calls me and asks me about it, I will explain it to them. But I don't normally come out of the gate, saying, hey, deed in lieu. I usually go over these other options. And then the 5th option is, equity sale or short sale. So I think all of you know what a short sale is. Basically, they're behind on their mortgage. They owe more on the property than what it's worth. I would say 50% of the time we're seeing that. The other 50%, it's an equity sale. Back when I started, 100% it was a short sale, but I am seeing more of those because some of these homeowners bought these properties at a super high price a couple of years ago. And they're struggling now. But so an example would be someone owes $250,000 and it's only worth $225,000. That would be a short, okay? And an equity sale, so out of let me see here. I think I have 5 deals so far that are supposed to be closing by the end of the year. We have, let me think, there's 2 shorts, 2 short sales, and the rest are equity. So not too far off from the 50-50. So the one that I just told you about, she has about $100,000 in equity, but hasn't made a payment in a very long time. In the state of Illinois, it has to go through the court system. So she already has an auction date on her property. It's December 19th, and we're planning to close November 13th. Okay. So again, option number 5 is the equity or the short sale. So I do like to go over those options and explain it. I feel like the more time you spend with them on the phone and going through, the scenario that led to this and explaining their options, it is a great way to build that rapport. Okay. All right. Questions on any of that before we get to the new financial hardship and the QR codes? Okay. So I have a new homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. I have it in a Word document in case you want to edit it. And I also have it in a PDF. Okay, so it is, let's see here. And I also have done a video. I recorded a video yesterday for the people that want this. I recorded a video and I've explained more in depth as to why I asked these questions on the homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. Now, I've said that because, again, in this day and age, it's not always a short sale. So I don't want to call it a short sale intake sheet anymore. It's a homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. And so it takes you through, basically everything that happened. So I have a homeowner. So like I said, it's 3 pages long. And then I also have it in a Word in case you want to add some stuff. And then I made a video. I explained why I went towards this questionnaire a while ago, how it's working for them. That questionnaire, and I say this in the video, you want to print that off. If you're new to distressed sales, carry it everywhere with you because you never know when your phone is going to ring, right? And so the first thing I ask is, can you tell me about your situation? And then from there, I start to answer, or I start to ask all of the questions on the questionnaire. And then it leads to other stuff. And I do try to take as much notes. Now, if I'm driving, I will pull over and take the notes, okay? You can, some of you can do them on your phone. I like to carry around a notepad. It's just easier for me. So we have that available. Does anyone currently use a homeowner questionnaire in place of a script? So some of the very, very important questions that you want to find out is obviously the mortgage information, auction information, best ways to contact them. What are they looking to do? What happened? HOA information. Did I say bankruptcy? I don't know. Bankruptcy information. So it is a long questionnaire, but eventually if you fill that all out, like I said, it's really going to help them, help you understand how to help them through the process. Okay. So that's the first thing. So I have completely updated this. Again, it's available in PDF. It is available in Word, as well as a few-minute explanation from me, why I have these, and really going about it in an empathetic and compassionate way. Okay. So let's talk about QR codes. Now I do use a script for this. So let me just tell you about that. If you are currently marketing, or maybe you're not, maybe you just want to use the QR code for another way. It doesn't matter. But currently, in our marketing, I am putting a QR code. This is the QR code, the exact QR code that you'll be able to get. It is on the back of our letters. Okay. So this QR code does have a script. Now I give there's 4 different scripts available, plus, so let's go back here real quick. These are the scripts. Now, read the scripts, figure out which one sounds more like you. And then you could tweak some of the words, okay? You don't, if you haven't recorded a lot of videos, take some time, practice. You don't want it to feel too scripted, but I have provided the exact video that I use for this one right here, okay? And then you want to create that QR code, use a sticker, print it, save it. You could post it on social media, whatever you want to do with it, okay? But the QR code scripts, they're great to just give you an idea. The whole point of this is for them to scan it, and it will get them to open the letter or the postcard, whatever you're using, okay? So I do like to have a general script idea for that. If you have not recorded videos before or aren't sure about the QR code, go to Loom. If you go to loom.com, you can get a free account in Loom. Okay. I do have a paid account because, as you can see, I have like almost 1,300 videos in here. I think I pay like $140 a year. I mean, it's super cheap, but you can have a free account and have so many videos in there. I would recommend to record in Loom for several different reasons. Okay. One, you can actually track the views, which is great. So these ones, this one, so this is the one I did for you guys yesterday. Okay, this explains in under 6 minutes the homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. So there's no views because I haven't put this out to you guys yet, right? But you can track the views, which is great. And then you can also put some more information here. You could put all of your information, your contact information, website, whatever you want. But this, I love, love, love Loom. Anyone else use Loom? Obviously, if there's a system that you use and you love it, you don't have to change it. But when you do go to record those QR codes, you do not want, so there's a couple of options. When you go to record a video, you don't want the screen here like that, okay? So if you go here and you select, you got to make sure you select camera only. And it's going to show, like you see me right here, it's going to show exactly that. And I then take the script that I liked for myself and I put it on the screen. So I'm looking at the camera, but I can also see, the script there. So just practice with it. But the most important thing to know when you're using these QR codes, which we've had so much success with over the years, is these families do not need perfect. They need someone to listen to them. They need someone to help them. They need someone to navigate through this process. They are confused. They are scared. They're getting ready to lose their home. Maybe they just got an NOD or a Liz pendants. Okay. So the video, and you'll see mine, it is not perfect. They do not need perfect. Okay. That's why I feel like it's a lot different. Like traditional sales, I feel like, yeah, a lot of people want perfect. Distress, they don't. So just come across as yourself, as empathetic and compassionate. Okay. Questions on Loom, questions on QR codes, questions on the homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. Any of that? Is anyone listening? So I know this is a little bit different. You do not have to join my coaching community to get all of this stuff. I have created a specific jot form just for this. And so I'm going to post the link and you can have access to it. So it's 27 bucks to get the both forms, Word. Now, I don't think you need to change anything, but it is in Word if you do want to add additional things. So again, you're going to get both forms of the homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. You're going to get a video of the explanation of that. You're going to get a sample of my QR code and then the scripts for the QR code. And once you fill out the form and you submit it, it will redirect you to this exact Google Drive for you to download everything. Okay, so I'll post the link. And then if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. What objections? What do you mean? So that kind of goes through walking them through the options. So if someone is dead set on keeping their home, which I would say, Eric, 95% of the time, they want to keep their home. Okay. So how would I go about it then? Well, and some of this walks you through in the questionnaire. But one of those questions would be, what have you done with your bank to try to keep your home? So if they haven't done anything, which happens a lot, then maybe they should start a loan modification. And so I feel like it's my job as a specialist to give them all of the information and they make the best informed decision for themselves. Okay. If they have done a loan mod, so if they say, hey, I've tried a loan mod. Okay, well, what was the results of that loan mod? Oh, it was denied. Oh, it was accepted. Okay, well, why? Like, you got to dig further. So you're asking those questions, they're explaining it, and you're asking like open-ended questions where they have to explain, not really like close-ended, which is like yes, no, or like one-word questions or answers, right? So they're going to say that a lot. If they've said, yes, I've tried a loan mod. Okay, well, was it approved or was it denied? If it was denied, why? And so if they say because it's a job, they don't have a job, well, duh, you have to have a job in order to get a loan modification. So then I would move towards, selling it, because even with no job, a Chapter 13 isn't going to be an option. So there's tons of different ways to go about that, Eric. I mean, you have done probably tons of short sales. If you have a specific objection that someone came to you about, I would love to go over that with you. But it really just depends on the situation. But like I said, every single person will say they want to keep the property. And so then you have to go through those options we went through. And it may be a no right now. And that's where I feel like a lot of agents, they, fail with the follow-up.
Okay. Like one of my questions is I run into, because I think in Michigan right now, but we have ag sales, but I'm starting to see like I have a showing on Friday for a client that they just, for my buyer's client, Um, they just bought the property last year and they're selling it for $10,000 less than what they purchased it for last year. So I'm running into that. And if I run into listings where I have come across this, where they're basically like, where do I go if I do sell? I'm just like, yeah, $100,000 worth of equity, make it happen, I guess. So what have you come up with basically? Like, that's probably a big question you're going to run into is,
Like, where am I going to
where can I
go?
go? Yeah.
So, and actually this might be a really great, so 1 week from now, we are not in session. It's Halloween and we have some things going on. So I'm like, didn't want to add that to my plate. So maybe 2 weeks from now, that would be a great, like, where the heck do these people go? And so to answer your question short, I do have a rental agent on my team. He actually came in and did a really great training. So maybe we can go through that, but he has helped my clients over the years. So like I'm a specialist in getting them out of the mortgage. He's a specialist in coming in and helping these families find a rental when they've had bankruptcy, when they've had a short sale situation. And so there's
Yeah.
ways to go about that. And so I would love to, we don't have time today, but I would love to
That's
bullet
fine.
point that. But I do, and this is something that I had to do at the beginning on my own. But as you grow, you have to delegate those tasks out. So I found Sean, and Sean is my rental agent, and I just give him all of my rentals. And he's never not been able to get someone into a rental, but I make it very clear with homeowners up front when you do go to sell, you may not get your first choice. Okay. But the whole idea here is for you to start fresh. You cannot start fresh and stop looking over your shoulder until you get out of this house, your name is off of title and you can move on.
Yeah.
So not everyone gets their first choice, but again, after a year or 2 years, they could upgrade a rental, with good rental history, or come back and buy with you in, 2 to 4 years, depending on the guidelines.
Yeah. I think I just did one of my mortgage people I work with. I think she said 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
have to look at that
it
text
really
message.
depends on it depends on a lot, but yeah, that's actually a really great training. So again, we are not live next week, but 2 weeks from now, maybe I have a whole list of things I want to get through this
Yeah,
year,
three
but
years for FHA.
3 years, yeah. Yeah.
And then after they have delinquencies. So, I mean, there's hope, and that's basically what I want to, you know, work towards basically just be everything, sorry, to help these people basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. It's good to
Yeah.
have a team, but don't get discouraged. It does take time to build all that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions? I did post the link if that's something you want to go ahead and grab. I will put out the replay tomorrow as well. But now is the time to ask any questions. I always say no question is silly or stupid. So if you do have them, please ask. Okay. All right. So I will see everyone in 2 weeks. Have a blessed day. Hey, Loretta. Hey, Loretta. So we're actually done. So we go live like right at 11:30 because I know like there's a lot of dual careers, and so I try to make good use of the time. So we'll release the replay. I did something a little bit different this time, and I did allow people to come in and purchase the questionnaire and the QR codes and explanations that I've done some videos, and so it's $27 for all that. So if you want to watch the replay, it will be posted tomorrow, and you can grab all of that then if you want.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So Geraldine, hi. We actually are already done with the presentation. So we go live like literally right at 11:30 Central. So it was about 45 minutes. And we'll release the replay tomorrow and the link to go in. And so I did a little something new. And so I have a brand new questionnaire that I've been working with. And so you are able to purchase it and not join the coaching community, along with my QR code video that I've done and the scripts that I use for that. So be on the lookout tomorrow for all of that.
Okay. Sorry I joined late.
Oh, that's okay. Things happen. Just wanted to let you know.
It's been a crappy morning.
I hear you. Have a
Oh,
blessed
Lord.
afternoon.
Okay, you too, dear.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.